I think the biggest challenge I think I deal with when young players when I was in college was, and I think it may be the case for all of us as individuals, in separating, what I do with who I am, is this idea that if I perform well, I am loved. And if I don't perform well, I'm unloved. And one of the things I've always tried to talk about with our players is if I looked back and really tried to write down some things, what were the characteristics of the best teams that I've ever been around? Like, what did those teams have? What did they look like? What was missing from other teams? And the first thing was there was an enormous amount of love inside the team for one another. There was a lot of love for each other. The other thing that there was an enormous amount of care. There was personal and individual care for each other. And the third thing was each and every guy on the team was accepted for who they are. And if you think about that from our own personal lives, if you walked around every single day and said, I feel loved, I feel accepted, and I feel cared for, our life would be really, really enriched. But because those things are lacking in all of our lives to some degree, we think through achievement and through success, the more that we get adoration, affirmation, and people telling us how great we are, we think that that actually fills up what's missing and lacking in our life.
When Billy was talking earlier, I felt like it was like one of those out-of-body experiences when he talked about the team meetings and the things that the players reveal in there, that there is such an abyss when it comes to unconditional love. And players don't have to be from dysfunctional or publicly dysfunctional families. It can be from a well-meaning, well-intentioned family, but where a kid's attention after a game is based on her performance during that game. And one of the situations that we've had in our talking circles, and again, I was telling somebody this at the break, that you can have these team meetings, or what does Tim call them, Truthful Tuesdays or something?
Tell the Truth Tuesdays.
Tell the Truth Tuesdays, where you get everybody in a room and you try to tell the truth, but there's a lot of softening that has to go into that, a lot of creation of trust and a lot of sincere acts that have to occur in order to get them to be willing to just pull the curtain down a little bit to show you who they are. But ultimately, after a long period of this, in our talking circle, one of our players challenged another and said, I just feel like you're selfish. And which is one of the things, by the way, that women, we're notorious for. We put labels on everything. You are lazy, you are selfish, you're a hard worker. Everybody has a little name and title. Instead of saying that's selfish behavior, or, why didn't you go after that loose ball? So she said, I think you're selfish. And the kid was, she couldn't believe it. And so my role as the great czar in these meetings is to say, why? That's what I say through the whole team meeting. And why? And why? And ultimately they come with it all. But she said, when you play really, really well and we lose, you're happy in the locker room. You're not doing a dance and it's not overt, but when I look at you, you're happy. I know you're happy. And when you don't play, maybe you don't get in at all, and we win a big game, your joy is so fake. And the kid was struck. She was pierced. And the room was safe enough for her to say, when I don't play, my folks don't talk to me. When I make baskets, my dad can't wait to see me. And suddenly everybody in the room went, oh. And then they loved her.